All right, so here's a little Super Falcons update. First of all, the Super Falcons surely will be playing the Canadian women's national team. The match will be played 3:30 tomorrow morning. We now have a better idea of the players who were invited to play in this match, although not all the players have arrived in camp so far because of visa issues. Most of the players invited for the match against the Ivory Coast are actually invited for this match, with the exception of a couple of players. Gloria Ogbonna de Santa Teresa, CD left back, invited after missing those last two matches due to a red card against the Black Queens of Ghana. Next, you have the much anticipated return of Hamilatu Ayinde, the midfielder who plays for Eskilstuna United in Sweden, has been out for a long time due to an injury, and she just returned with her club, and thankfully she's back in the national team because she was sorely missed in the midfield. Also coming back into the team was Vivian Ikechukwu, the former Rivers Angels forward, now playing for Gentra in Lithuania, and she comes back into the team after missing those two matches against the Ivory Coast. Apart from that, most of the players who did play in those two matches will be returning for the Super Falcons, so hopefully we get to see a little bit of continuity from the team. With that being said, I personally would have liked to see a couple of players from the women's under 20 make this team. Some players like Esther Yenezide, Flores Sebastian, they definitely have a thing or two that they could add to the program. The match will not be televised, but it will be shown on a streaming network. One Soccer, a Canadian streaming network, will be showing the game. As of now, it is not going to be shown on any television network. Long story short is that you have to subscribe to watch the game, either a 1-month subscription, which is like $10 Canadian, or a 1-year subscription, which is like $100 Canadian. I think this is just a bad idea because it's just gonna make people not watch the match. Nobody is gonna be paying that kind of money just to watch 2 matches, because after that, what are you gonna watch? The Canadian Football League? I mean, that's just ridiculous. Now moving on to something that was a hot topic yesterday. Asisat Oshoala no longer the captain of the Super Falcons. First reported on Sports News Africa and brought to her attention yesterday on social media, and her first response was that she was just finding that out. So she basically found out that she was no longer the captain of the Super Falcons on Twitter. Now first, the report said the coach refused to make any comments on the reasons why he changed Oshoala from being the captain, but the report also had an official who asked his identity be withheld, and he said that the decision was basically made a while ago. The discussion was had with the coach, and they felt like this was the right decision to make because she had not been performing well for the Super Falcons. I mean, I personally feel all around that this was just a heartless decision, a disgusting decision. I mean, you're talking about Asisat Oshoala, first of all. Let's just say that. We're talking about Asisat Oshoala, the greatest Nigerian women's football player that's ever been. Period. That's who we're talking about. Then you add to the fact that this player that we're talking about is injured and got injured in the camp for the Super Falcons. She got injured in the camp right before the matches against Ivory Coast. And she goes back to her club. She's rehabilitating. And all of a sudden, through Twitter, she finds out that she is no longer the captain of the Super Falcons. Even if you don't want to be the captain, that's gonna hurt you. Like, why would you do that? You didn't even call me. Yeah, I mean, I doubt they've even called her to ask her how she's doing. I mean, if you cannot treat Asisat Oshoala right, who are you gonna treat right? Who are you gonna treat right? Answer me that. Who are we gonna treat right if we're not gonna treat the greatest player in African women's football, and we treat her like this? The funny part to me is that people are saying that Asisat Oshoala was wrong. They're saying that she shouldn't have responded in the way she responded. And I ask you, if you get injured and somebody does something like this to you, how are you going to respond? It's just common decency. You don't do stuff like that. If you're going to drop her from the captaincy, you talk to her. Oshoala, we feel like this captaincy is really weighing down on you, and we feel like we need to change you from being the captain. Simple. But you didn't even talk to her about that. And I doubt you've even talked to her about, look, how are you doing? How is your health? Has anybody called to check on how she's doing? None of that. But you have the guts to put out a report that she's no longer captain. This is just poor management from the NFF, and it's shameless. There's nothing anybody can say to make this situation good or look good, because it's a completely shameless situation. I mean, you should be trying to figure out logistics for the players in Canada, how to get players from their clubs to Canada, but instead you out here gossiping, putting out reports that she is no longer the captain of the squad. I mean, what is that? Like I said, if you even don't want to be captain, if you hated the captain's band, you still not gonna like the way this situation is handled. I mean, I personally felt Onome B should have been the captain from a long time ago. So this is not anything against Onome B being the captain right now, but it's just how the situation was handled, and I just feel like this is just completely wrong. And that's just how I feel about it. So please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.